Brenda J. Lilly here from Creative Consultations. I just wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video that says I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just here to engage, to encourage, and hopefully empower other artists to go out and live their art dream. So here we go. Enjoy the video. Well, good Monday morning, everybody. It is time for another Monday morning Kickstart with Creative Consultations. I'm Brenda J. Lilly, and it is December 30th, 2024, the last Monday of the year. Can you even believe it? We made it. We got here. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like it. Please share it with everyone you know so we can continue to encourage each other to keep becoming who we were created to be. All right. See you on the flip side. Well, good Monday morning, everybody. I've got my big blue cup of coffee and I'm ready to rock and roll. I hope you are too. This is the last Monday of this year. Can you even stand it? 2024 is quickly coming to a close. And that leads me to a thought. How was it? What did I accomplish? What didn't I accomplish? What goals did I set? What goals did I meet? What goals are still in the realm of becoming something? I'm not much of a New Year's resolution girl, but I am big on reflection, introspection, and looking forward and allowing that to go, aha, okay, now moving forward, where am I going from here? So I like to take a moment during this time of year to just sort of take stock in my own life, to see what I see honestly and as fully as I possibly can. Taking my blinders off to, putting down any feelings of self doubt, self pity, self loathing if you have some, and just honestly reflecting on how did this one go? 2024 for me was in equal parts hard and wonderful. And I realize it's not over yet. I still have a day to get through. More could happen. You never know. And life isn't magically going to shift because all of a sudden the day is January 1st and it's a new year. Do you know? Time marches on. That's what it tells me. And it carries us forward. I can't go back. I can't fix the past. I can just move on to my glorious future, whatever that is. And so to take a moment or two or three to reflect on what it is I've been able to accomplish, what it is I have not accomplished yet, and sort of unfetter it to get down to the why I haven't been able to accomplish that yet is very important. Have I been pushing something, one of my goals off, one of my dreams away because I don't want it anymore? Have I been pushing my goals and dreams off or away because other things took priority and precedent, because I was being lazy, because I was creatively exhausted? I'm not saying to use excuses. I'm saying to honestly look at your life and say, What is it you were going through that held you back, that stopped you from moving into that goal, pushing that goal forward? Is that goal still a valid goal? Is that dream still something you want? Reflection and evaluation is an important step in our life and our journey towards becoming who we want to become. I was at a gathering yesterday and we were talking, a couple of us were talking on the way home, and, this gentleman is in his final year of school. And so I said, well, I'd not asked the question yet this year. I said, so what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself heading? And so he told me. And then the other person in the car said, well, if that doesn't work out, what's your next plan? Do you have another plan? And all of a sudden he threw out this idea that just seemed so like far afield from who I know him to be and who he has uh who he is, right? And I so I sat with it for a moment because I was so shocked by the idea of his secondary plan that I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't know how to hold it, and I didn't want to say anything negative or bad, but I honestly couldn't imagine it. And so after about 5 minutes of carrying on, I was driving. So about 5 minutes of driving, and we had talked a little bit more. I actually asked the question, do you even like this? Is this something that you've been pursuing, like sort of on the side? And he said, and I said, is it something you want to make a career out of? And he said, well, I mean, I think I'd be bored after a couple hours. And I just said, a plan B doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to be so far afield, so vastly different, so something that you can't own or don't own or can't imagine yourself doing. It's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's just, well, what else can I do with my life? What else can I do? What are my other giftings? If that's not one of your giftings, then please don't pursue it. I think that's so often what we do to ourselves, right? Like, well, if we can't come with our A game, if we can't get plan A accomplished, then I guess I'm just going to have to settle for the worst life ever. And we just sort of Eeyore our way through the next few days or whatever. And I can honestly say, I've done that myself. I've been a complete Eeyore at times, especially this year. This year has been tough in so many ways. But and I found myself sort of walking in a bit of self pity and a lot of self judgment and a lot of lack of understanding of where I was at and why I was in this particular moment. But I can honestly tell you, I've never said, oh, well, I guess I'll just go eat some worms. Do you know? Like, I guess that's my plan B. My life is just going to suck from here on out. Like, no, no. And I think that's so often when we talk, especially about future things, that we don't know how things are going to work out. We don't know if things are going to work out. We don't know. I mean, things will always work out. We just don't know how, right? And so to not settle for something less than is one of the hardest goals you can put forth in your life. because it's going to mean that you are going to have to work at this thing as hard as you can, as long as you can. And some days are going to be a complete slog and feel horrible and make you want to quit. And other days are going to be triumphant and glorious, and they're going to give you the wind you need to carry you on to the next day. When you don't have that day, when what you've had is the great and horrific slog, my hope for you is that you are surrounded by a glorious cloud of witnesses who can breathe life into you, who can breathe hope into you, joy, and remember who you were created, help you to remember who you were created to be. Surrounding yourself with the right people is so important for a life well lived. If you only have Debbie Downers and joy suckers in your life, people who suck all the air out of the room rather than breathing life into it, life is going to be tough. So careful there. And I don't even know why I got off on this tangent, but I can tell you just from the conversation, which was like 5 minutes, that this gentleman has a few Debbie Downers in his life, a few dream stealers, giants, if you will, who are putting mountains in his way, in the way of his dreams. He's fighting for them. And so I give him much, much space and much grace because he is fighting the good fight. New Year's Eve and the changing from one year to the next is a great time to reflect, to give yourself some grace, to understand what it is you've walked through. But it is also a glorious time to look at the goals that you've set for your life and times and say, okay, here we go. Let's launch into this new year, reflecting and then looking at our goals, setting our goals. These are not New Year's resolutions. These are goals that we have had, dreams that have been ours. They're not for a New Year's resolution. This is not losing 10 pounds. This is life goals. Let's reset, if we need to, some of the goals and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Every single day, I'm going to check in with this goal and see what I've done. And this is how I'm going to achieve this goal. 3 times a week, I'm going to do this so that I can, by this point, be halfway to achieving it. Right? So you set your goal, you set your dream out there, and then you put in steps to achieve it. And you put those things in the what? In your agenda. So they become the things that you daily look at, that they are incorporated into your life somehow. Because dreams will never become a reality unless we pay attention to them, we set goals, and we set achievable steps to reach those goals. Then your dreams can become a reality. But in order to do all of that, we need to pay attention to them. And so maybe that's my offering to you in this almost New Year's message. Reflect on what you've been through. Make some determinations of where you want to get to in this new year of 2025, the goals that you are still holding, that you still want to march on with. Celebrate your wins for 2024. What is it that you've achieved? Huzzah! What is it that still needs to be achieved? Put a plan in motion. And then every single day, check in with your plan. Make sure you're keeping your goals a priority and you're not getting whipped into somebody else's whirlwind, neglecting your own life. Maybe I'll take up there next week. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Happy New Year. Be blessed as you launch into 2025. May it be a year filled with adventure and wonder and blessings. Until next Monday. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.